and welcome, luminous beings of light. Thank you for joining me here at the SoulFire Alchemist. I'm your host, Beth SoulFire. And today I bring you a forecast for Astro-Weather for August 15th through the end of the week. So I guess we're going to go to Saturday, maybe Sunday. We'll see how it goes. Now, one of the things that I want to mention before I go any further, I realize that there's an echo. I'm recording this on my computer and on a camera. So if it's not that good, I can clean it up for you guys. If you can forgive me this one time, I would really appreciate that too. Because the truth is that I don't know really how to fix it yet. So I've tried a few different things and none of them worked. It was kind of to no avail. I'm sorry. I don't know which one of these videos that I'll be using. So I'm going to try to talk to both cameras. But I'm just going to go and get right into it, okay? So Monday, August 15th. So we still have the full moon energies that we're going to be feeling that are in play. So new moon in Aquarius, we're likely to still have these feelings of freedom and breaking free and maybe even rebellion and wanting to be our own person and have our own way. And that's what the Aquarius freedom is about. Now it does worry about the needs of the group. So the thing is, though, with Aquarius is that it wants to make sure that the unique needs of each individual is actually being seen to, and that, sometimes it cannot consider the group without considering the individual, although not always. So on Monday, we're going to have the moon is going to be in Aries. Now, the moon is going to make a couple of conjunctions. One conjunction is going to be in Jupiter, also, in Aries. All right. And it's also going to be making a conjunction over to Chiron, right, which is also in Aries. Now, I'll speak to those just for a second. When you're dealing with planets like the moon, Jupiter, and Chiron, you're dealing with things around your deep inner needs and your feelings, the way that you were hurt, the way that you weren't served, the things that you didn't need either growing up or even past life stuff you can bring along to you in this way. So just keep in mind that the moon in Aries is going to bring us a feeling of our own independence and who we are, who our identity is, who are we, who to identify as, what is our ego, right? And ego gets a bad rap. It's not always a bad thing. The ego is actually there to help us have self-identity so that we're not, just going along with every little thing that comes along and we don't know who we are. Aries' only job is to know that. Now, when you're mixing that with the planet of expansion, which is Jupiter, which is also spirituality, and Chiron, the wounded healer. So it could be that you're going to have an explosion or an expansion of your awareness about all of the wounds that you've received in your life, right? But it could be also, because Jupiter is such a benefic, it could be it's bringing this stuff up to boiling, right? Only for you to skim off the surface and for you to be able to get that beautiful elixir that is the great healing of your life. And that's what Chiron can bring us on Monday. Now, moving into the afternoon, it's going to make an inconjunct to Mercury and Virgo. And this is going to continue on at least for the next day or so. So when the moon in Aries is making an inconjunct to Mercury, especially in Virgo. Mercury rules Virgo. Virgo are all those things that we worry about, our anxiety, the things that we love to detail, and analyze, things that we like to really deeply analyze. And Mercury is all about those things. It wants to communicate about those things. So it could even be as you're moving into Monday night and into Tuesday, you're having a hard time even to yourself or loved ones, whatever the case may be, vocalizing your hurts and your pain and, how can I make my life better? Sorry. It's part of what makes this a best SoulFire, right? The SoulFire Alchemist. All right, and Aries is that fire energy, right? It's a cardinal energy. It gets things going. It gets things started. So this could be the start of something big for you when it comes to a healing project. So if you're looking to maybe There's the kitty cat. If you're looking to find a good healer or somebody to work with who's a mentor, this would be great. Very supportive energy for that. Now, moving on into Tuesday the 16th, we've got a bunch of astrology, so I'm going to try to run through this as fast as I can without being, ridiculous. All right. So moving into the 16th, we've got, of course, the moon still in Virgo, making that in conjunct to Mercury and, Mercury and Virgo is going to be making in conjunct to the moon in Aries. So keep that in mind. An in conjunct is kind of like where the planets don't understand how to talk to each other, so they don't know how to have a really good conversation. So that's kind of interesting. Just sort of keep that in mind, which means you might not be able to have a good conversation with yourself about what's going on and how you feel about it. Then the moon in Aries is going to sextile over to Saturn in Aquarius, and that's going to be really nice because when the moon is in Aries, we really care about our own inner feelings and our own needs, and that's kind of where our focus and attention goes. And that sextile over to Saturn in Aquarius, being that we're just coming off of a full moon in Aquarius, is really quite valuable because with Aquarius, that you just had the light of the full moon shining. All those things, Aquarius, in your life that you're ready to just take control or say no to about anymore. And so that sextile energy is going to make you feel really, really good about that. And you're going to feel like you're getting emotional support from the universe on that. Saturn really approves in this case of you picking out what it is that you like that makes you you. I'll give an example. Me, I'm a healer. Excuse me. I'm also a I do shamanic energy medicine. I'm an Appalachian medicine woman. I do astrology. I do hypnotherapy. I do a lot of things, right? I don't dress like the typical person that would because I've got an Aquarius sun and I have, of course, Capricorn rising. But Aquarius, we like to be weird and different. Now you've got Aquarius somewhere in your chart, just depends on where it's at. But we always like unique and special things, right? Things that make us stick out or different. And it's uniquely us. It's always got to be something that we like and we pick out. I mean, red lipstick's not something everybody can or wants to do, but me, I happen to love it, especially this time of year. It makes me bring out that dusky hue, right? And so I really like that. But anyway, so this moon in Aries is also going to make a trine to the moon in Leo, the sun in Leo. And this is so beautiful. Our luminaries, right? So the one that's all about the self, right, is making this trine over to the sun, which is the sun. Leo is the sun. That represents the fifth house. Now you'll have to look and see where that is in your regular natal chart. But generally speaking, the moon in Aries making a trine over to Leo, the sun in Leo, it helps you shine your brightest, right? It helps you realize all the wonderful things about you that do make you who you are. And nobody else can be you. Nobody else can do it just like you. And that's exactly what both Aquarius and Leo, even though they're opposing signs, are here to show us, right? That same day, the 16th, we're going to actually also have sorry, guys, I need my glasses because I don't like seeing getting older, but it's mostly because I can't see nothing without them. All right, so, and my notes are a little smaller. All right, Mercury in Virgo is going to be making a trine to Uranus and Taurus. Now, this Uranus and Taurus has caused a lot of upheaval and surprises and shocks. And just things that we never thought were possible. If you haven't seen that yet, just know that it's probably coming. But with a trine to that energy, that Mercury and the things that you worry about and you find that maybe you're fearful of, or, the things that give you a lot of anxiety, you're going to find a lot of ease with those things. And you're going to find that it's much easier at this time for you to surrender and let go so that you're not feeling like you're acting out of your fear all the time, and that you're trusting in the universe to bring you what you want and what you need in order to survive and to have a good life. And now moving on in the afternoon at 4:18, the moon in Aries is going to make a square over to the Pluto and Capricorn. And this is right before he enters the moon, before she enters Taurus, right? So I'll talk about that in a second. But the moon in Aries squaring Pluto, and this is a nice finish off to this day, right? So if you've had a bunch of stuff coming up around your wounds, things that you haven't healed, the shadow work that you need to do, or just genuinely feeling the hurt and the trauma of all the past woundings that you've been through, it's really going to be, I know it's a square, right? And these feelings, Pluto and retrograde and Capricorn, he is a diamond cutter. He's a diamond cutter even when he's forward movement, and he's not in retrograde. But it's like that's the finishing touch, right? So it's almost like Pluto's coming through there to go, all right, let's cut out the rest of this. Let's clean the wound out. Let's get it out once and for all and cauterize the thing so it's over. And so that's the end of the day, because then the moon moves into Taurus, and Taurus is all about the things that we love, that we find beautiful, that we find valuable. It's about our belief systems, and those things, my friend, are bound to change if you're doing your inner work along with the planets, right? And so you'll be rewarded for that by feeling that beautiful Taurus energy that we're moving into. Now that takes us into Wednesday. Now Wednesday we're going to be having, and once again, glasses. Sorry, apologize. Nothing I can do about it. It's just one of those things about, when you get older, it just happens to you. It sucks. I didn't say it was good. I just said it happens. All right. So moving into Wednesday, we're going to have the moon and Taurus squaring over to Venus and Leo. So all the things, the way that you feel about those changes that you've just made, right? The way that you feel about those changes that you've just made and come to termination of the things that you need to let go of, Venus is going to come along to test and challenge that in Leo. Now, it depends on where that is in your chart. For me, Leo is in the 7th house. So for me, Leo is going to be coming by and going, are you sure this is the right thing for you to do for your relationships? Like, is this going to be serving you best? And Leo brings us fun and recreation and pleasure and joy. And so even though the square can be a hard one, it involves such wonderful planets. And Venus actually rules Taurus. So if you think about, the moon and Venus is exalted in Leo. So, this is not bad energy. The square energy just might be something trying to say to you that morning, hey, you need to get over this hump of how you're feeling about your values, right? And go ahead and go for the things that make you feel good. That's what the Venus and Leo is asking you to do. So if you can meet with that challenge, right, and best it, you'll be doing well. Now, later that evening, of course, we have the Sun in Leo, which is going to be making an inconjunct to Neptune and Pisces. Now, that's at 1:57, so this is moving into the afternoon. So the Sun in Leo, it doesn't know how to communicate. So like right now, if you're pleasure seeking as you should be and wanting to have fun, and it's summer and it's the last days and going to festivals and just doing all these wonderful things that we love doing, meeting friends, maybe whatever, we're enjoying concerts and things like that, or being in one. There's an inconjunct to that Neptune and Pisces, and Neptune and Pisces is very murky energy. And so be careful of being in too big of a party mode and not hearing your own inner wisdom of don't drink too much, don't overdo it on the drugs, let's slow down on the recreational stuff, right? And even when it comes to being in la la land, which I love as a shaman and mystic, we can't always afford to live there because we do have a 3D body. You need to mind that 3D body. So please just keep that in mind as we go through. Now, other than that, I'll say enjoy it because it's going to be beautiful energy. The inconjunct just means that they don't know how to speak to each other. And so if your body is having a hard time or it doesn't want something that you're trying to give it, this is time for you to really open your ears and listen to your own body and listen to what's going on around you and be super aware. Now, moving into Thursday, August 18th, we're moving into the 4th quarter, right? And we've got a lot of astrology this day, right? So I'm going to run through this real quick. And again, glasses, apologize. Hope you guys don't get me on this DL screen, because if you do, I'm way down here, so I apologize. But if you get me on this one, you're going to be hearing an echo. So either way. Okay, so Thursday, we have Venus and Leo is going to be making a beautiful trine over to Jupiter and Aries. So again, this is a beautiful, loving Leo energy that loves children and recreation and your creative projects that you want to get out into the world. It's making a beautiful trine over to Jupiter and Aries, which is giving you oomph and giving you your style and giving you exactly how you should be doing things your way, right? That is Aries. Aries is you. It's not somebody else. And so I think this is an absolutely wonderful time for you to do any positive ego expansion, right? So affirmations, if you have low self-esteem, shadow work isn't just about picking out the negative parts of you, or integrating them, right? It's also looking at how beautiful that you are and your gifts and your qualities that make you such a good human being and a good person. And those are really important for you to listen to, right? And it's a good time for you to improve on these skills because Jupiter is there to lend to you his arms of, expansion and also that little bit of spiritual air that comes with it. And he is a student and he's a teacher, Jupiter. So you can be too in following these. So it's a good time for something like that. That's at 4:03 a.m. So early in the hours when you're asleep, if you're on the East Coast. Now the moon in Taurus is going to be making a conjunction into Uranus and Taurus. Now, we all know the Uranus and Taurus. We've been talking about that a lot, but how you feel about all these changes that are taking place is really going to hit you hard a Thursday morning. So you'll have quite a bit to think about. Now, at the same time, we're going to have that Mercury that I was telling you about in Virgo, making that in conjunct to Saturn and Aquarius. They don't understand how to talk to each other. So the things that you are worried about and concerned about and want to be meticulous about and want to analyze and be a perfectionist with, that Saturn and Aquarius it's not that it's not having it. It just doesn't understand it because it wants different things. Saturn and Aquarius wants different things, right? So the Virgo and Mercury energy just wants, they actually get along pretty well, those energies, but with the in conjunct, it's hard to communicate. So it might be like you feel like cleaning up your house, for example, but there's a misfire there and you're not really feeling it for whatever other reason, right? Maybe you have a different responsibility you feel like you need to see to for your family or for your community, and that would be something perfect about this. Now, moving on, that Saturn in Taurus is also going to make a square over to the moon in Taurus, right? So, Saturn in Aquarius. So, and this is the infamous Saturn square Taurus with Uranus in the mix, right? Saturn in Aquarius. So for that time, let me check my time, by the way. For that time, just be prepared that, yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a sharp-edged sword there for a few minutes with you settling into how you feel about this, because once these two planets start communicating, and they will, you'll have a certain feeling about that. And then, of course, the moon in Taurus is going to be making a sextile over to that Uranus and Virgo. So it all ends well, right? All that begins ends well here, because you'll be finishing out this afternoon with some really good thoughts and maybe even solutions for things that you needed to come up with. And then, of course, this beautiful moon in Taurus is also making a sextile over to the Neptune and Pisces energy. It's making a square over to the Sun in Leo, and it is making a trine over to the Pluto and Capricorn. So what this is to me is that while there might still be some push-pull on getting your creative projects out and having all the information that you need to move forward with a thing or something, whatever that is, even if it's just you being out on the stage or doing YouTube videos or whatever it is, there may still be a little something that's murky that feels like it's holding you back. But then, honestly, it becomes just about you and you holding yourself back. And it's the way that you're feeling. And if you can shift your own perspective or shift the way that you're feeling about something, this will go much easier for you. Because as we go on into the nighttime hours, that's that trine over to Pluto and Capricorn is really going to help you figure out. I would really be in the mode of trying to do shadow work. Now, Friday, August the 19th, Again, we got a lot of planetary energies. The moon and Taurus. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and tell you what the moon and Taurus is going to be doing this day. It's going to be making a square over to Leo, right? The sun in Leo. It's going to be trining the Pluto and Capricorn retrograde, and it's also going to be making a conjunct, which means when it's right on top of each other, it's double the energy of Mars in Taurus. So this tells me that you're going to have a lot of energy to get things done around anything Taurian. So when it comes to your beliefs, the things you value, money situations, even taxes, it could be, or something like that, you're going to have a lot of oomph to get that stuff going, to lay the foundations that you need to build your future, whatever that is. So, that's really going to be helpful, because you're going to need that Pluto energy with the trine to help you kind of extract some of those old things that just aren't working anymore, that are getting in the way of your progress. So that's what this is going to be really good for. Now, moving on to the evening, the sun's going to enter into Gemini, and as it does, it will be making a sextile to Jupiter in Aries. And once again, this is that beautiful energy that is able to talk about anything, any subject to many different people, many different subjects to many different people. And that's Gemini energy, right? And so it's going to be making this beautiful sextile over to Jupiter in Aries. So this is a great time to discuss the changes that you're making for yourself, or just get something out for yourself, journaling or creating videos or content or whatever it is that you're doing. It's a really good time for that. Like, my husband and I, we play and sing. So this is a really good time for that, in my opinion, because Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury rules all things with the throat. So it's a really good time for something like that. You're still going to be dealing with that in conjunct of the sun in Leo with Pluto and Capricorn. It's just that you don't want to do that work right now. You're more interested in having fun, and that's okay. Just know that that planetary energy is there, and it's going to have its way. So sometimes you're better off to go ahead and tend to those things yourself, rather than waiting on the planetary dignities to do it for you. Now, Saturday the 20th, Mars is going to enter Gemini, and we're also going to be having a bunch of Gemini energy, because the moon having moved into Gemini, we're also going to have two sextiles. So the first sextile is the moon in Gemini going over to Venus in Leo, and the second sextile is going to be Chiron in Aries. So this looks to be a really good day of healing for you on Saturday the 20th. A lot of really good days a day to communicate about that healing, not just to yourself, but to other people. So that's what I would recommend. Now, the 21st, so we'll go ahead and end up with this day. I don't know if I'll get to all of our planets and points this week, because there's so many. But I do want to give you this note. Getting cleaned up and getting really organized while you're having fun is going to be the keynote for Sunday the 21st. And one of the main reasons for that is because we've got this moon in Gemini, right? And Gemini still wants to have fun and wants to get things done, right? And there's a lot of Virgo energy abounding too. So that moon in Gemini is going to be making a square over to the Mercury in Virgo, which can be a hardship getting things done, but only if you're not having fun. So make sure that you're having a lot of fun. I will go into more detail next week on Sunday the 21st, but just know that the really big squares that you need to be aware of are mostly with Neptune and Pisces. And I think we're still recording, so I just want to make sure. Yeah. We'll go ahead and stop this. Okay, folks, so my memory card on my other one got full, so you're just going to have to deal with me on this, all right? I wanted to go over just a few more things here for Sunday the 21st. I don't know if I'm going to get time before we come back to do another video. I do promise you that I'll get the new moon in Virgo, I believe it is, coming up for you. I'll get that out. But real quick, just running through everything for Sunday the 21st, okay? The moon in Gemini is going to be making a trine over to Saturn in Aquarius, and that's going to be that morning, early in the wee hours of the morning. There's also going to be a opposition, right? So we'll have an opposition of that Mercury and Virgo to Neptune and Pisces. And so what that's going to mean for you is probably something along the lines of feeling like you need to get things done, maybe details on work, something like that. Maybe you need to clean up your house. Maybe you need to get some details just kind of wrapped up in the things that you're working on wrapped up, but yet at the same time you're feeling very oppositional energies to that, because with the moon in Gemini we can be very talkative and be kind of like a social butterfly, and we want to just kind of go and do the things that make us feel good, right? And we don't want to get the hard work done that needs to be gotten done. At the same time, that moon in Gemini is also making a square over to Mercury in Virgo. So as you can see, there's a lot of this energy that just doesn't want to get it done. The planet Pluto is still in there with Capricorn, making this in conjunct to that moon. So once again, you're going to have to force yourself to hear what the universe is trying to say to you about doing this deeper inner work. And really, the best way to do that is to whistle while you work. Put on some of your favorite music. Whatever chore it is that you've got to go get done, just get it done. It'll be off your plate. Saturn will reward you. It likes that stuff. And then you can go out and enjoy all the fun rewards of life and all the beautiful Taurian things and the Leo things, right? It's just getting those responsibilities done and having a good attitude about it, right? So the moon in Gemini will sextile the sun in Leo, and that's another part of this. Now, that night, and this will be around 8:30 p.m., this moon will finally enter into Cancer. That was all the notes that I had for the weekly forecast coming up August 15th through August 21st of 2022 for your Astro-Weather. And like I said, I'll be doing a new moon forecast here pretty soon. I've got one of those coming up in a couple of weeks. Today is the full moon in Aquarius as I record this. So I hope you guys are having a fabulous, fabulous full moon. And actually I would sign off, but I also want to tell you to check out something that I've got right here. I want to do a share screen. So I wanted to show you this. Now, this is this is my services page, but I wanted to show you because it's brand new. Okay, you guys, I needed to make you guys super aware of what I'm doing here. I'm doing a sacred reciprocity session. This is a 40-minute session. It's completely free. This does not cost you anything. I know there's a lot of people out there hurting that need help, that could use advice, that could use some guidance, mentorship, you know, whatever it is that you need, that you're looking for. So what I want to tell you is I wanted to go ahead and share my screen and read this to you. Get free mentoring or, you know, and holistic life coaching and guidance. So this is a limited time offer because I cannot do it forever. But it's for those of you who need mentorship and guidance and are either curious about what it's like, you know, or you just don't have the funds to invest in it. So you're wondering what's the catch? Well, here's the catch. For 20 minutes, I'll interview you about your interests regarding topics I'm researching. So things about the metaphysical, things about ancestral medicine, things about shamanic energy medicine or energy medicine in general, hypnotherapy, just basically anything that you know that I do, and even some of the things that you might not be sure that I do. I want to ask you and pick your brain about those things. So for the first 20 minutes, that's what this call is. So I'm doing it for one reason, and that's to make better content for you. And a lot of it is free. So it behooves you to do this, you know, or would anybody. Like, I'd totally take advantage of it. So I have a goal to interview 50 people. I'm looking for spiritual seekers. At least if you've had some sort of spiritual awakening in your life, this is you. I'm doing, like I said, it's a marketing research kind of thing. But I only offer these once in a while. I almost am at my goal. I recently hit 37 in July, but I'm still looking for the 50. So are you one of them? Are you? So this is not a sales call. I need you to understand that you will not be sold to on this call. You will not hear me say, hey, would you like to work with me or anything, right? I might guide you and direct you to my website, but that'll be it. Like I said, this is not a sales call. There's no pressure, absolutely none, to work with me any further than just this call. Now, in exchange for that call, you get 20 minutes of one-on-one mentoring from me. Now, I don't have this up yet. I'm getting ready to upload it to my website, but I am getting ready to offer mentorship programs again. And just so that you know, my mentorship programs run anywhere from $19.97 for like a 2-month program, all the way up to, you know, thousands if you're wanting to look at something more long term. So for those of you who, just need a little help with something, this would be a good choice. Now, if you don't want to do that, I have dabbling sessions down here. Now, you're not required to do anything. You don't have to answer any questions. All a dabble session is that we take an hour and we talk about whatever you want. The only catch is if it can't be done while my hands are deep in the dirt, it ain't going to be done because I'm a gardener. I have a lot of house chores, but that's something I'm trying on for size just to see how well it works out. It's an hour. It's $150. You can ask me anything that you want to. It could be about your astrology. It could be about the medicine wheel. It could be about a relationship issue that you're having, or just whatever. But if you need my eyes on something, it won't be anything I can do. That's the whole appeal of the dabbling session, is to get you away from computer time, and me too, because I know that I've been fed up with social media for a while. And for me, it's just much more healing to not focus on that and focus my time with people in reality. So now the SoulFire Alchemy Healing Intensive, highly recommend that if you just want a one-on-one, and you can come work with me in person in East Tennessee. I also do astrology, so I have different sessions here that you can check out. The other thing is the year-long shamanic mentorship program. All right, so this will open again in June 2023. So that's going to be a lot more affordable than the one-on-one mentorship. And so I think that, that's something worth looking at if you are curious about those things. But I definitely wanted to make you aware of this sacred reciprocity session because it's super important to me. You get something free, I get help, and we are actually helping everybody together. So I got to go back and stop sharing my screen. If I can find it. Hopefully I'm not sharing it anymore. Okay, good. Now I stopped the share screen. All right, very good. All right, so now I wanted to make you guys aware of that. Now, the only other thing that I've got for you is if you look at the link below, you're going to see a link to my free webinar that I did last year called Take Back Your Bliss. It's a very, very, very good webinar that teaches you how to sort of detach from any pain or anxiety that you're in a moment. There are techniques in it that if you apply those, it's going to really open up your third eye. And it will help you increase your psychic abilities, your empathic abilities, and all of that sort of thing. So for now, that's all for me. And just know that I love you so, 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 so much. And I will see you on the flip side.